Hello guys, and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my beautiful subscribers. So guys, in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make this beautiful palazzo pants with an elastic waist and asoke patch. It has two pockets, inner pocket, so that's what we're going to learn how to do today. And then, like I said, the elastic waist is so well made. I really made it detailed, and I made the band in such a way that it is well tucked in. So that's what I'm going to teach you guys how to do today. For those of you that are in ready to wear, you can watch this video. It's going to be really useful for you. So this is like one size fits all kind of pants. So that's what we're going to learn how to do today. If you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Like, share with your friends. Okay, so this is the fabric that I'm going to be making use of. I have about 2 yards, maybe 2 yards and quarter. It's not up to 2.5 yards, so I really manage this fabric, and I will show you guys how to do that. So the first thing I did was I folded my fabric at 17 because I wanted it to be really wide, and then I placed a line on that point. So can you see the line? Can you see the one I'm placing my tape? I left 1.5 inch up, which is for my band, and then I marked 9 inches. Okay, so that 9 inches is going to serve as my hip line. Yes, so just watch and see. So just watch the way I kept placing the tape. So from this point I'm going to mark my crotch. So the crotch measurement I'm going to be making use of, I'm making use of 15 inches because it is a very free pants, free trouser. So that is what I'm going to be making use of. So you can see the way I am marking it. In case you don't know how to calculate your crotch, I'm going to explain that in the course of the video. So let's just continue. So the next thing, I am trying to mark the knee point, because if you see that trouser from the knee, it opened more from the knee area. So I'll just mark it that way. And then the next thing, I am going to mark the full length. You can see my tape, I left 1.5 inch up, so that's going to serve for the band. And then I marked my full length, which was 43 inches, and then added an extra 2 inches, which is going to be for the hem. So the next thing, I came to the waistline, which is the second line. I just measured my, so firstly from that top line I came in by 1/4 inch. So and that 1/4 inch, can you see what I'm trying to do? So I'm just trying to create a slight curve, not because it is a straight pant, so I don't want to put any much shape. So I came to the hip line, and then I marked my hip line measurement. I added about 5 inches or 6 inches, yes, because I wanted it to be really big extra. So at this point I'm just trying to double check, and then that line that I marked, I ruled it to the top. Can you see it hit to the waistline top with the waistline? And then I came to my crotch line. So for the crotch line, I'm going to put how deep I want, how wide I want my trouser to be. That's what I'll mark here. So I'm using 17 inches. Can you see? You can see, so I curved that line that is coming from the top, the straight line from the top. I curved it to the edge of that point, that 17 inches point. Can you see? So you can see the way I curved it. I just curved it. Okay, and then from that point I'm marking it straight because it is a straight pants, so I don't really need any particular shape. And then this other side also, you can see the way I'm marking it straight. So after that I just curved this out, so curve it out, and then I slitted that part. So it is a straight pants, so I just slitted it, and this other side also is straight. So that is how the trouser looks. And then the next thing, we are going to mark the back. So for the back I marked that's I folded a fabric that is a little bit bigger with 2 inches. Can you see? And then placed my front piece on it. Because it is a straight trouser, can you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to just slit that back piece open also. Okay, so after that I'm just making sure that the difference between the front piece and the back piece is like 2 inches. Okay, so that 2 inches, can you see what I'm doing? I am marking that point and then curved it in. Can you see? So I curved that in. So I'm just trying to double check. At that point I think I cut my fabric wrongly, so that's what I was just trying to check. So you can see at this point, so I'm just going to measure it and show you guys. So can you see the difference? Can you see I have about 2 inches at that flap point? Also I have 2 inches, and then that 2 inches extended to the down part. Okay, so the next thing, I am going to work on the pocket of the front. So I've kept that back piece at the side. So for the pocket, can you see from that edge I came in by 1 inch, because I don't want my pocket to be too open, and then just curved it into that hip line like that. I used 1 inch. If you use 2 inches, it's going to be open more. So but I used 1 inch and just curved that 1 inch out. So that is for the front. It's only the front. The next thing, I'm going to work on my ashoke. So I want to cut out piece that I'm going to use for the patch. So I cut out about three piece of about 7 inches. So you can do it however, it depends on how wide you want. Can you see? So I folded the edge inside. You know ashoke is strong, so once you fold it and iron it down, it is already stable. So I already have my 3 piece. I use the entire length, that's the width of the trouser. That's how I marked my ashoke. That's what I use, yeah, because it's going to run from one end to the other. It's not like the regular pocket that is small. Okay, so the next thing, I came to this point, I'm using my knee measurement, my knee line. So that's where I want to place the first ashoke patch. So you can see how I placed it. So, and then I'm pinning it down. So for mine, I'm going to stitch it cover, so I don't want it to have any opening. So if you want to have it, let it be like pocket, you can do that, but I actually did not want that. So I just place them, and then I'm going to sew the 4 edges, and then place, can you see the crotch of the trouser? Both of them, the front, they are touching, and then I place the extra one on this other side. Let it just be like in between the two. So this design, you can actually design it however you want it. Okay, so the next thing, I actually saw this on a page in on Instagram. I'll drop the link on the comment section. Yes, I can't remember the name right now, but I'll drop the link. So this is for the pocket. This is the pocket. Can you see? So for the pocket, like I said, my fabric was not enough, so I had to use white fabric. So I folded the fabric into four of about 8 inches, and then I just cut that out. Can you? This is how one of the pocket looks like. Can you see? So when you open it, it's like 16. So I placed the edge. I just placed the edge at that point where I marked out the pocket. So for this part, you have to rewatch it in case you don't understand. So I placed it. So I'll take it and stitch it round. Just place it straight. Okay, just make sure that can you see the way the picture is. So you can just use a straight fabric like this, and then cut it out, and then sew this part that I'm cutting now. You sew it on that side. So once you sew it, the next thing, so the next thing, I'm going to push it inside like this. Can you see? And then give it a good pressing. So after that, you can see from that part where we folded it initially, that is where you will now bring it back. So just like basically just take the center. Do you understand? So it is a simple process. Once you watch the video, just watch it, you know how to do this kind of pocket. It's a very simple process. Just create a straight fabric that runs across the entire width of the top part, and then fold it into two. You can just sew it, place it, and then you turn it back. So this one, I want to stitch it at the center. So from that part where you fold it, you stitch it from that part. So I'll show you. Can you see? So after sewing from the inside, you just use your hand, push it in like this, and then flip it back inside. So that is your inner pocket. So like I said, my fabric was not enough. Normally I'm supposed to use my fabric to do this, but because I want to show you guys how to do a pocket, so I just had to do this. Okay, so you can see, so when you flip it back in, this is how it's going to look. So that part, you are going to top stitch it. That's, you're just going to stitch it down, or you pin it, any one you want to do. And then this up part also, you are going to secure it, or you pin it, so that when you are joining it with the other part, it's not going to scatter or shift. So can you see? So the next thing, I brought my pants together, that's the palazzo. I'll take the front and the back, this is the back piece, the two crotch, I will join it, just so it join. And then the front crotch also, I will take it like this and then join it. Okay, so just join the front crotch of the palazzo or your pants or your trouser, And then this is after joining my front and the crotch for the front, and then I'll take the back on, I'll place it. So mind you, you know that the back waistline is bigger than the front waistline, but when you want to do this, just adjust it. So I'm going to take this, I'll take it to my machine. Can you see? I'll sew it down. You have to be careful so you don't seal your pocket, because if you sew it too close, it will close the pocket. Okay, so you can see after sewing the two edges, that's the two side seam, this is the center part, which is the crotch. You can see the back is bigger than the front, but no problem, just pull it together. Do you understand? Just pull them together, and then you will go and sew it. Make sure that this the seam that they match. Okay, so please, if you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends. If you want to register for my online classes, my number is on the screen or on the comment section, so you can just go ahead and give me a shout. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I want to trim the waist of this trouser, because normally my trouser, the back is supposed to be longer than the front. So I'm going to take this. Can you see what I'm trying to do? So I'm trimming the front of my trouser, kind of like deepening it, so that the back waistline will be higher than the front waistline. Okay, so I cut out like 1 inch out. After that, the next thing, we want to work on our band. So I'm measuring the length, the entire length of my width of my skirt, of my trouser, sorry. So the next thing, I got a fabric of like 2 inches. This fabric was very managed. I had to join it, yes, because I did not have fabric again. So the fabric is like 4 inches on open, but when you fold it, it's like 2 inches. And then I'm going to measure the weight, that's my waist measurement. So my waist measurement, I'll add for my waist measurement, I'll add an extra of like 1.5 inch to it. So I'll mark it to that point, and then I am going to cut that off. Okay, so I'll cut that off. After cutting that off, the next thing, I'm going to take this piece like this, and then I'm going to stitch it with, I'll come in by half of an inch. You understand? No, I have extra, so I can play with it. However, so I came in by half of an inch. I'm going to go and stitch that point, and then open up a point. Can you see the way I marked it? I'll stitch up to that point like that, and then jump that part and stitch the other part. Just create an opening at the center. So that's it. So after stitching it down, I'm going to open this up like this. Okay, when I open this up, the next thing I'm going to do, I just want to secure that stitch down like this. Can you see? So I'll take this back to my machine and just stitch, yes, just give it 2 stitch, just to like butterfly the stitch in at the allowance, yes. So after that, this is what I have. So now for our band, you can fix it in two ways. For beginners, you can decide to just take this band, hold it the way it is, the way you hold the hand of a baby, and just sew it round, and then when you finish, you go and weave your the waistline. But for the ones that know how to sew already, we are going to sew our band neatly. So you are going to take your band like this, look for that center part, that front part. Okay, and then you are going to take it from this back, take the right side, one part of the right side. Can you just watch the way I'm doing it, and then you are going to stitch it round, so that the other part, the other front one, will now cover it. Can you see the way I place it? Just look at it very well. Just look at it, you see it, you are going to take it, you stitch it round. So after stitching it round, you see how it looks. So the other one, now you now flip the other one to the outside. Can you see now it is neat? And then you flip it outside, and then you give it a good iron. Can you see? That's that part where the rope will come out from. And then the next thing, this one, you are going to use your hand like this. You are going to be pressing it down, that's like tuck it in. Do you understand? So you tuck it in neatly like this, and then you're just going to, first of all, you can pin it if you want to, or you iron it. You understand? So for it to come out nicely. So for this, since I'm teaching, I'm just pinning it. If I was not teaching, I'll iron it down. So after that, you just run a top stitch on it. So you see it will be easy for you. So when you start stitching it down, it is easy. You take your tape like this, and then you are going to use an elastic. So most times what I normally do for my elastic, I will put like extra 2 inches or 3 inches, because I want it to come. My elastic, I usually don't use my elastic to measure my waist measurement, because I want this trouser to be free. So I add like 2 inches elastic to my waist measurement, and then just put it. So after putting, I'll just cut out extra, just use my hand to spread it to make sure that it is very free. It can even be a little bit bigger than my waist, but I don't have problem. So because I'm still going to pass a rope through it, so this the rope that will control it. So the elastic is just like basically for like fancy, you understand? So you can see, because if the elastic is too tight, it's going to pass your hip is going to be another problem. So after that, I took the elastic, that's after placing the elastic, I placed it on my machine. The top part, I'm just doing a top stitch. The essence of this top stitch is to make this the waistline beautiful. So that's, it's just like aesthetics. So after that, you can see I'll take another rope, because my rope, I don't have fabric again, so I'm using bias. So I'm going to use joggers rope for this. So I'll pass the rope through inside. So this rope now will now help me to like tighten it the any way I want to tighten it to any waistline. So like ready to wear people, when you are doing this, you sew the waist, make it big, and then let the rope do the controlling part. Can you see how this looks on me? It looks really gorgeous, as in very fine, very beautiful. I've talked a lot in this video, so if you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. And if you have not subscribed, can you see, guys, you see the fitting? It looks so elegant. I can't wait to rock this trouser. Yes, I'm going to really rock it. So thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. I love you guys. Like my video, share. Bye.